guys, it's another Student Boss video. So if you're taking biology A-level, you know that the content is a lot. From enzymes to genetics to plants, there's just so much you have to learn in such a small amount of time. The way I revised for biology in year 13 was different and a lot more effective to the way I revised in year 12. And that's why I earned an A grade overall. I did something that allowed my brain to be actively processing the information as I learnt it. I'm pretty sure this technique works for other subjects, and I've definitely adopted it to the way I study at university, which also allows me to get awesome grades. So in class, I would make notes in my book as the teacher taught and explain different things to us. I'll be honest, the way my teacher taught did not suit my learning style sometimes, but it was more important for me to take down class notes so it would be easier to learn later. So that's my first tip. Try to engage in classwork and listen in class. Because if you understand a topic the first time it's being taught to you in class, it will be much easier to make notes and revise later. After class, I made notes from the textbook whilst the topic was still fresh in my brain. As you can see, I'm a big fan of diagrams and I like to use colours in my notes. Not too much so that the keywords still stand out. So that's tip 2. Make notes that are engaging and will motivate you to study. Our brains like colour and chunking, so make use of paragraphs to make the information more digestible and use different colours to make things easier to recall. After making my notes, I would then answer the end of topic questions to test my knowledge. And then, here's the game changer, I would cover up my notes and then in pencil on a blank piece of paper, write down all that I knew from the topic so far. Then I would look at my notes and add to the poster all the parts that I missed out in a different coloured pen. The information in pencil would be the parts that I knew fairly well, but the information in the different coloured pen were basically the gaps in my knowledge, and I would revise those parts a lot more. For example, by watching videos or by looking in a different textbook for a different explanation. Then I would go through my notes again and use my technique to remember the information. This time, the parts that were in colour would really stand out, and it's like my brain would be telling me not to forget it. And then when I felt like I'd made enough notes for different topics, I'd move on to past papers. Understand, simplify, and then memorize. Yes, you can't get away from the fact that there are just some things you will need to memorize, purely because they contain keywords that will get you the marks and cut out the waffle when you write your answer. The book tends to have a lot of content, so simplify it to the way you understand it, and then it's so much more easier to memorize. Specification. If you don't know what this is, then what are you doing? Each exam board has a specification on their website, a list of things you need to know in order to pass your exam. I mentioned this in my other video of how to get an A in A-level chemistry, so if you're taking A-level chemistry, go ahead and check that out. But use your specification as a checklist as you revise. Employ a color-coded system to track your progress. Perhaps red for the parts of concepts you did not understand and you need to work more on, amber for the parts that you've made revision notes on and you understand, and then green for the parts that you've made notes on, done practice questions for, and have done past papers on. You can note down your grades to see how you progress. This just helps you to stay organized and learn exactly what you need to learn. Diagrams. Draw as many diagrams as you can to help you learn different processes. This is especially good for visual learners because pictures can act as triggers to help absorb different answers. It doesn't have to look great, we aren't all Picassos out here, but if you can draw a diagram of a process and explain it to yourself or to somebody, then that really helps. Past papers. As you know, past papers are one of the best ways to revise for an exam, only if you use them effectively. The first one was to print out topic-specific past papers and do those after making notes for a specific topic. And the second way was to make notes on a whole unit and then attempt to do a past paper for that unit. The first time you do a past paper, take it seriously. Do it under time conditions in a place with no distraction. But I would encourage you to mark the first paper yourself so that you can see what your weaknesses are and the kind of answers that examiners are looking for. If you notice that there's a particular topic you tend to struggle with, then work on it straight away. Don't think, oh, I'll just wait until exam season to understand it, because chances are you have other topics waiting for you to sort out when exam season comes. Make improvements the second time you do your past papers, then give it to someone else like your teacher to mark for you and get constructive criticism. Command words. This is something that everyone thinks that they've got a hang on, yet you still get some students giving an explanation when the question clearly says describe. So make sure that you are familiar with the command words and know how to mold your answers to fit them. Again, this mainly comes by practicing past papers and developing your exam technique. If the question says, using the information provided, what is so, so and so, then make sure that you are using the information provided to you so that you can gain full marks. So those are my 7 boss tips. If you follow these, you should be on your way to getting an amazing grade in A-level biology. As with A-level in general, make sure you're organized and keep your notes up to date. Do not always wait until you feel motivated to do work, because I'll tell you now, motivation is rare during A-levels. Instead, try to adopt an effective routine where you are consistently working towards those top grades. Thank you for watching this video. Hope you found it useful. Be sure to subscribe, and why not check out my previous videos.